This is the lesson 9 in Theory of Computation. We continue the chapter Context-Free Languages. We will learn push-down automata. In this lesson, we will introduce a new automaton system. As we will see, the class of languages that can be accepted by these automata is exactly the class of context-free languages. Let's start with informal description of deterministic pushdown automaton. Such an automaton looks like the figure at the screen. The first, there is a tape which is divided into cells. Each cell stores a symbol belonging to a finite set capital sigma, called the tape alphabet. There is a special symbol. Here we can use hashtag symbol instead. That is not contained in capital sigma. This symbol is called the blank symbol. If a cell contains blank symbol, then this means that the cell is actually empty. The second, there is a tape head, which can move along the tape, one cell to the right per move, but it cannot go to the left. This tape head also read the cell it currently scans. The third, there is a stack, so we can store something now, but we can use only symbols defined in gamma, called the stack alphabet. This set contains a special symbol $. The fourth, there is a stack head, which can read the top symbol of the stack. This head can also pop the top symbol, and it can push symbols of gamma onto the stack. The fifth, there is a state control, which can be in any one of a finite number of states. The set of states is denoted by capital Q. The set capital Q contains one special state lowercase q, called the start state. Formal definition: a deterministic pushdown automata is a 5-tuple. Capital M equals sigma, gamma, capital Q, delta, lowercase q, where sigma is a finite set, called the tape alphabet. The blank symbol hashtag is not contained in sigma. Gamma is a finite set, called the stack alphabet. This alphabet contains the special symbol $. Capital Q is a finite set, whose elements are called states. Lowercase q is an element of capital Q. It is called the start state. Delta is called the transition function, which is a function. Capital Q Cartesian product sigma with blank symbol Cartesian product gamma goes to capital Q. Cartesian product capital N or capital R Cartesian product gamma star. For easy understanding, we will first give an example delta rule. When we focus on the states here, we will see that the state has not changed. Thus, we can read it as, stay in the same state. Then, we can focus at the second letters on the rule. When we look at the second letter on left-hand side, there is an A symbol. It means that tapehead read this symbol from the tape. The second letter at the right-hand side, there is a capital R symbol. It means that tapehead must go one cell to the right. If we use N symbol instead, then it means tapehead must stay the same tape cell. Now we can read the rule as, when the tapehead reads an A symbol from the tape in state Q, state controller have to stay the same state and the tapehead must go one cell to the right. And last, the third part of the rule is read. On the left-hand side, there is a $. Symbol. We can understand that, when stack head pop the $. Symbol from the stack, this rule can start. On the right-hand side, there are two symbols for the third part, a $. And an S symbol. When this rule run, the stack head must push these two symbols into the stack in order. At first the $. Then the S symbol. When the state controller is in the Q state, if the tape head read an A symbol and the stack head pop a dollar symbol, stay the Q state. Move the tape head one cell to the right, and push a dollar and the S symbol into the stack. User can enter a string into the tape, but cannot see the stack. Only state controller can use the stack. When the program is started, we will assume that the tape head is on the first letter of the string written by the user. State controller starts on the start state Q, and the stack has only one dollar symbol. A command is selected according to the symbol to be read from the tape, and the operation on the right-hand side is performed. After that process, a new command is selected according to these three parameters. 1. The state controller stay on which state? 2. What is read from the tape? 3. What is popped from the stack? Then the working steps the selected rules say are continued. When the stack gets empty, push-down automata terminates. When push-down automata terminates, if the tape head is on the cell immediately to the right cell of the last symbol of the string, this is good news, because the string on the tape is accepted. We've seen the problem before when learning context-free grammar. We will use symbol A instead of left parenthesis and symbol B instead of right parenthesis. Algorithm. Remember the number of A's. Then match them with B's. We can use the stack to remember the A's. For each A symbol reading, we push a symbol we defined, let's say S, into the stack. We then delete one of these symbols from the stack each time B is read. This is our solution. There are 2 rejection situations and 1 acceptance situation. In 2 rules, we must push a symbol onto the stack to remember the number of A's. We also have a rule to forget these stored symbols by deleting them from the stack. Notice that we have divided the rules into 2 groups according to the symbol coming from the stack. When do you think the top part will work? If the stack is empty in the start state, the initialization of the push-down automaton should come to mind immediately. So that should be our first answer. The other case is that after some A symbols arrive, when an equal number of B symbols arrive, all the stored ones in the stack are forgotten. Briefly, at that moment when the number of A's equals the number of B's, the stack is empty. So when does this part work? How can we define it? This part is easier to describe. Whenever the number of A's is at least 1 more than the number of B's, one of these rules works, depending on the symbol from the tape. For this problem, we prepared a context-free grammar before. Now, we must develop a push-down automata-specific algorithm. In order to facilitate it, you can see an animation on the right. By examining this, we must first prepare the solution in our minds. Here we will use the term non-deterministic push-down automata, because we cannot solve it with the deterministic one. If you notice in the previous examples, we wrote a rule for each situation, but since we weren't sure about the B symbol in middle here, we will add extra rules where we are in doubt. The example string shown on the right has B in the middle, but someone else might not. Moreover, it is not possible to find the middle letter B with a limited stack unit. That's why we should look at every letter B that is read as the letter B in the middle. Theorem. Let sigma be an alphabet and capital a subset of sigma star be a language. Then capital A is context-free. if and only if there exists a non-deterministic push-down automaton that accepts capital A. In order to apply the transformation here, context-free grammar must be in the Chomsky normal form. The first transformation rules say that each A goes to BC rule transforms as Q lowercase a capital A goes to QNCB. For all lowercase a is element of sigma. The second transformation rules say that each capital A goes to symbol A rule transforms as Q lowercase a capital A goes to QR epsilon. The third transformation rules say that each dollar goes to epsilon rule transforms as Q $dollar goes to QN epsilon. In this conversion question, we first labeled the grammar rules such as R1, R2, R3. Then we grouped them according to which of the three types of transformation rules they match. Finally, we applied the transformation rules. That's all. Thanks for listening.